The year is 2025, and EVO Japan's Tekken 8 champion is none other than the legendary God of Tekken, Jae-Min.
Look, you can go check my Twitter timeline. I was like, yo, Nee is playing Tekken 8 now. And he came down, he was like, thanks.
Playing his iconic Bryan Fury, the 39-year-old Korean legend defeated upstart Mulgold on the Tekken World Tour's first official stop this year to earn his 4th EVO title.
Dog, Nee in the 4th quarter. Put your 4s up. Put your 4s up.
Yo, shout outs to Nee, yo. Oh, what a dub.
And get this, it looked like the old Nee, despite the busted version of the game they were playing. But there's a lot more to catch up on too. A new character is coming soon, sure, but more than that, details about how and when Tekken 8 will be patched in the future. So, did Bandai Namco mess it up again? Let's dive in. So EVO Japan 2025 is in the books, and for Tekken fans, it was actually way more interesting than it could have been. The biggest problem heading into EVO Japan was that Tekken 8 was, and is, in a terrible state right now. I can't really rehash all of it in this video, but go check out these 2 videos if you want to learn more. Long story short though, the game's Season 2 update was supposed to focus on defense, but any improvements there were completely wiped out by the new overpowered moves added to every character in the game. This made an already aggressive game even more bloodthirsty, with 50-50s and wall-to-wall combos everywhere. In that light, it can be hard to get excited about competitive Tekken. Sure, the devs have said that they're looking at it, but that's cold comfort right now. So when Top 8 started, the developers announced the new content and their plan for fixing the game. More on that in a bit. More importantly though, they straight up admitted that the situation here was not ideal.
And as you know, Season 2 dropped recently. We realized there were a lot of drastic changes. Many things, especially the competitive scene, was not all that enthusiastic about. So we completely understand this. We have been making some changes so far, and we will continue to do so.
While this so far fixes nothing, I do feel that fans appreciated the gesture. And maybe it kind of set the stage for a top 8 where, yes, the game was busted, but so were many of the players. But somehow, the series' most decorated player made Tekken 8 look good. Nee likely needs no introduction, but if you're new to Tekken, he is one of the greatest players to ever do it. He was the undisputed GOAT before and during much of Tekken 7. For many, he still is, though the emergence of Arslan Ash and Pakistan during Tekken 7 changed the competitive landscape forever. Nee is now 39, and he's trying to adapt to a wildly different version of Tekken than he's ever played. He's also been plainly and openly critical of the game's direction, though he seemed to have resigned himself to somehow adapting to it for now. And frankly, what we saw from Nee at this tournament was incredible. In Grand Finals, he faced Mulgold, a 26-year-old Korean player who really only started traveling to international events in 2023. So it was really a clash of old versus new. Nee was playing Bryan, who is both quite strong right now and an old favorite, while Mulgold played Claudio, a character added in Tekken 7. Nee has competed in Tekken for literally 2 decades by this point, and Tekken has never looked quite like Tekken 8. But he started this series off by losing 5 straight rounds in a row, all of Game 1 and 2 rounds of the second game, all while doing a lot of sidestepping and feeling out.
Defense from Mulgold, who's not really doing too much movement because he knows he's going to expose him, whereas Nee's looking for these big sidesteps. He's using the back and forth.
He's not even pulling the trigger every time, too. It's just like constantly, very patiently just waiting for the big opening and then willing to take it.
Then Mulgold took Game 2 as well. But somehow, Nee manages to turn back the clock and step into this version of himself where his every move is a threat to his opponent.
I said get off him.
What a whip punish! That was insane!
He's not dead.
Yo, this guy, robot.
Listen, Tekken 8 deserves criticism, but the way Nee was playing, particularly the way he was moving, was far more reminiscent of Tekken games of old. He somehow made it work in Tekken 8. Nee evened the score at 2 games apiece, and Mulgold decided to try Feng instead of Claudio, but it wasn't enough. Nee performed the true reverse sweep with 9 straight rounds.
Back, Mulgold still fighting with the chance here. Oh my god, yo! Put your 4s up! Put your 4s up!
Active defense.
Short of the splat.
There's no way
again.
He's not going to do a ton. There's no way.
Oh my god, how did he block that?
Put your 4s up. Nee! EVO Japan 2025! 4 EVO championships over Mulgold here. Reversal of fortune. 3-2 from winner's side. Nee your champion for Tekken 8.
Knee's tweet after the fact seemed a bit emotional, and he talked about struggling to adapt to Tekken 8 and finally feeling like he's found some answers. It was pretty wholesome. Now, one valid criticism of this tournament is that due to recent events in Pakistan and India, the Pakistani players were not able to attend. That's fair, and we really have no way of knowing what could have happened if they had made it. But that shouldn't take anything away from Knee here, who looked incredibly composed at this tournament. Knee played really well, and Pakistani players were quick to give him props too. Now, when the devs spoke before Top 8, they also introduced a new stage and character coming in a later patch. The stage was a Pac-Man stage, which, okay, sure, it's not exactly amazing, but at least it's just a stage. But when it came time to reveal the second Season 2 character, well, it was Fakum Rum, and people were pretty unimpressed.
No! No! You're tripping! Oh no!
This character was extremely OP when he came out in Tekken 7 as DLC. Now, while some of the emotion probably is a reaction to that, a lot of it seems to be that this character looks very similar and has a near identical intro to his Tekken 7 appearance. In other words, to certain people, it just screams low effort to bring him back, while others are still haunted by his Tekken 7 reign. On top of that, his reappearance means that fellow Muay Thai user Bruce Irvin is unlikely to appear, a fact that seemed bolstered by Tekken producer Michael Murray liking a tweet about how Bruce's design was just a, quote, random GTA NPC thug. Ultimately, the new content wasn't a bright spot for Tekken, so what about balance changes? Well, an article went live during Top 8, featuring some upcoming adjustments slated for May 13th. But because so much stuff was added to the game in that initial Season 2 patch, it's going to take a while to sift through and make character level adjustments. The balance adjustment policy for the update that just went live says that the devs targeted outlier moves that were too rewarding for too little risk, aerial combo damage, heat burst, and heat smash damage. Now, while we need to see the results of these changes at the competitive level, the general philosophy here seems sound. There were also changes to matchmaking that should push more players up the ranks and make it easier to find games in some skill brackets. Once the patch notes went live late Monday night, we were able to see the full patch notes, and there are a lot of changes to basically every character. Honestly, more than we expected, though many of them seem minor, and there's definitely more work to do. But if you're wondering where more balance changes will go in the near future, we've got information on that too. We know there's a patch slated for June 8th, so it's possible we could see changes then, and then there's the later summer patch 2.03 that will bring the new stage and fighter. If there's one thing this shows, it's that it's a lot easier to mess up a game than it is to fix it. At least Knee's performance at EVO Japan gave us a slight glimmer of a future where Tekken 8 really does feel like Tekken again.